Zoom. Beautiful. All right, so I'd like to introduce you to James from Wageloch. Now, James and I connected probably when I was down in Adelaide doing the Adelaide retreat. We
Beginning of
connected, we caught
March.
up for coffee. He chewed my ear off for a while with all the developments of Wageloch. So I know Wageloch has been around for many, many years, but it hasn't really been in the spotlight and hasn't really shown its true colors until now. And I'm so excited to be connected with James because it actually resolves a lot of problems that I've been seeing in the industry when it comes to payroll and timesheets. I just want to introduce James, and James can tell us about his background, which is really interesting, and why he got into the industry. So James, take it over.
Thanks, Kelly. Do appreciate that one. So, wow, it's almost like a lifetime ago. Many years ago, I was a franchisee at Bob Jane T Mart's Alberton here in South Australia. At that particular time of my life, I was a turd to my bookkeeper, and everything that I am doing right now is to clear my karmic debt before I move on and make sure that my bookkeepers are looked after. And that's a big important part to me there as well, because what I learned as being a young business owner, and again, as a life coach there as well. So it's not just learning all the wonderful therapeutic models of neurolinguistics programming, hypnosis, timeline therapy. It was learning marketing. It was learning social media setups and things there as well. It was learning to keep a professional kept recording system as well. It's wonderful to have a turnkey franchise system, menu description. However, if you're not putting in the hours to ensure that you're making your life easy, it becomes out of control. And at 25 to 27 years of age, I was doing 60 to 70 hours a week, every week, to ensure that people were paid, products were purchased and paid for, stock taking, and things like that. And during that process, what I figured was my best friends were pen and paper for workforce management, which is fine until it's not, where we create so much time and effort just wasted. And my understanding, and some of you have spoken to in regards to my little story of pen and paper for timesheets. My handwriting is horrible. You need an archaeologist to read it and decipher it and share it back with you. I believe in typing all the time. Um, Rostering leave requests, I did have a professional, I wrote up all my policy and procedures with that as well. And leave requests, yeah, well, that kind of went from an official little form to just writing it on the calendar, flipping it over, and away we go. Whereas what got me moving here was I finished up with IAG, so I know how a corporate structure there is well. So Insurance Australia Group, NRMA, working in the motor industry there as well for lodging accident claims, and coming to Wageloch now as the business development manager. All of that being said, what I really enjoyed was my time at BNI, so Business Networking International, meeting and greeting lots of wonderful bookkeepers, accountants, business owners, and things. And what was a current theme for the 2 years that I was talking to all these people is, I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, what are you doing? Oh, admin, 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 admin. Why is it taking so long? Oh, I've got to do this. My staff got to do that for my staff. Got to do this. My staff. I was so impressed with Wageloch that it is simple, it is easy, it is amazing how quick that you'll be looking after your clients with an end-to-end product that matches up and marries up with all major accounting packages there as well. So that's my little story in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's awesome because you're coming from a business owner's perspective, and I really appreciate that. And you can see our struggles, which is even better.
Absolutely, and that's where my point of view, that when you talk to me, that's what I'll always be talking from a business owner's point of view,
Mm,
and understanding a couple of things. So when I talk about salary stuff, as we were talking about in the last couple of weeks there as
yeah.
well, I want people to have their salary staff recorded for two reasons. And by the way, yes, I do have an accounting background as well in there. I want them them to be recorded for two reasons. One, the legalities of it, that they're meeting their contracted hours, 40 hours per week there, and if they're going over it, it's recorded for toil. Additionally, as an accounting bookkeeper point of view as well, we want them recorded for all times that their departments are actually accurate and that you're not doing a workaround in the back end of Xero, MyOb, and Reckon and things like that. It's going to be recorded in Wageloch, simple, easy, and it will always be there to carry across your accounting package.
Yep. And I love that too. Okay, so give me a summary about Wageloch and how long they've been in business. Because I know they've been around for a very long time because I remember seeing them at like MyOb conferences way back before, COVID. So, but I know from talking to you and having going through your office how much it's changed. So give us a summary of what Wageloch is about now and how it's changed over the last several years.
As all good businesses start off, it's usually an employee saying to the boss, "Hey, I can do that for you." 17 years ago, Lockie Statesman, who is still part of this company at this present time, said to his boss at the bakery there, "I can create you a roster timesheet for you in Excel because I'm sick and tired of pen and paper being up on the board there. How about I do that for you, boss?" Lockie had an amazing talent for coding and programming, and as all success stories started, that's where it started from. We've gone from strength to strength, creating just a simple timesheet and rostering system to we've got a mobile phone app, clocking devices as well, to now we have been purchased by a corporation, Valsoft. So we have a beneficial grandfather parent figure looking after us as well. So nothing is going to change with Wageloch. Nothing has changed with it. Is we get direction and mentoring to expand and grow the company now as well. We still have our wonderful culture of family feel here. If you meet and greet any of us, talk to myself, Anthony, Damien, Phil, the operations manager. Oh my God, our help desk staff, you're going to love them. We've got Sienna, we've got Tony, we've got Michael, we've got Andrew, we've got our implementation team, Candice and Matt here, and Joanne over in the Philippines to carry over for us as well for the overflow. That you're always going to be looked after and it's going to feel like you're talking to family.
And you're all based in the South Australian office as well.
Absolutely. We're here
Mm.
in Adelaide, in Theberton, not too far away from the entertainment centre, if you're familiar with Adelaide people. And it is a joy that we work in an amazing thing, the time zones. We can talk to the East Coast, West Coast, and even New Zealand as well.
Fantastic. All right. So, over the last couple of years, you've made a lot of improvements, and one of the things that grabbed me was the way that you enter the awards in the back end, and nobody can bloody well change it, which is awesome. And you've got that HR backing behind you to be able to make sure that the award's correct. You're just sharing your screen, which is awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so what I found really interesting was the fact that you've got that back end set up, and they do it from their site in South Australia. They work with you to create the right setup format. They also work with you to train you to be a certified Wageloch consultant, which long term will be very helpful for you.
Yeah,
But tell me how the award works at the back end, and how it filters through into the system. Are you having a problem, James?
I am. It's all coming up Bart Simpson, not Millhouse for me at this present time, but that's okay. We will get there in my little tabby tabs.
Excellent.
Righty. So what we've got here at the very beginnings is where it all starts for the vast majority of our clients and their staff members is at the app here. GPS logging in. At that point there, we can tell whether they're on site, work from home, or at the office, or as a traveling sales rep, whatever the case may be, GPS clocked in, clocked out.
And
Very
you can program it to do the sites that you want it to do. Now, James, does that mean that the sites actually allow you to put in a different wage category? So if they're working as a manager on a specific site, can they put that into their timesheet and it'll automatically come across?
absolutely doodly. So let's go to the most important part here.
Yep.
You talked about how we do the implementations for the awards.
Yep.
Any and all awards that are listed throughout the Fair Work Ombudsman, we've got it loaded. We'll copy and paste and do the calculations for you. All you're going to do as a bookkeeper or an accountant is go to the base hourly rate, put that in, put in there any allowances, put that rate and amount is, which is what between you and the staff member, and we're done. Zippity zap,
Mm.
we're all done.
So you can list
Because,
those base hourly rates out as like as on the floor rates or manager rates.
mm-hmm,
And they, when they look at their timesheet, they can actually say that they're doing the management role today. Is that right?
correctamundo as well.
Yeah.
So answering the
Yes, I
question,
know, Dawn. I love that. Oh, that's one of my favorite features.
um, I will come back to this little moment here in a sec,
Yeah, yeah.
is that when we go to a timesheet,
And the good thing is that the guys at Wageloch set this all up for you. So you're
mm-hmm,
literally just check and go. Um, and I think that's, where others fall over because you can't do that categorization. You can't do those different levels for the staff.
yeah,
Can I,
17, go ahead.
can I jump in there, Kelly? When you say that Wagelock set it up for you,
Yes.
is it a case of you say to Wagelock, this is the hospitality award, set it up for me?
Yes.
Or do we have to fill out a form and says, this and this and this?
No, you actually do a Zoom session with the implementer and you implement it together to make sure that everything is in there. And
Yeah.
when you do your first pay run, they will actually go through it with you to make sure that there's no complications, no errors, no problems, and fix it on the back end.
Yeah.
And the support are available for you at all times during work hours. So that means that if you're doing your wages and you're like, oh, something's not quite right, you can actually call them and go, hey, can you help me fix this? And they will.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just further to that as well. So what would happen is coming on board as a Wagelock certified consultant, you've got Aeroflop, your new customer there who wants to come on board, and they've got their award, whatever it may be. We go through the amount of staff, how many sites and departments they have there, what exactly the award is. We'll then put that in the back end. And as we saw there, all you'll do is just put the rate of pay in, and it's all calculated there for you to happen. You get the clocking on function there as well, whether that's facial recognition, fingerprint, or mobile app, or even pin up codes and passwords matched up with your roster there. That we come over to this little section here. That calculation is all done for you. 8.25 hours, automatically you know what the dollar figure is for Millivic. And again, back in my time of being a business owner, I never knew what my daily amount of wages was until 6 weeks after the fact, after the accountant told me. This is where and some of you have spoken to you live, and I nerd out and geek out about this because it's just so handy to know what your staff are costing you for the day. You can accurately now project as a business owner, as a bookkeeper, hey, we need to be making $7,000 here so that we're in profit there to move forward in the black.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So you can adjust it and play with it and make sure that, you've got all the times covered, but you've also, your wages can blow out if you're not doing this correctly. And we all know that as bookkeepers. And, we all work with our business owners to help them understand that. And I think this system makes it so easy to understand that they're like, oh, okay, that's what it's costing me to have that person there when it's really quiet. Why am I having that person there when it's really quiet? I mean, I could go in and do that. Yeah, so it's just really interesting to watch those numbers and go, oh, okay, well, they're doing overtime, they're not doing overtime. Let's, rein it in. So
Yeah.
I found that really fascinating.
So as you were talking there, Kelly, what I've just done is just fixed a couple of little things here on the timesheet.
Mm,
And you can see as we're talking, everyone here, that as I adjust, we've got a live calculation happening there.
mm,
There is nothing that you need to worry about, that a manager can do this, that you as a bookkeeper can do this.
mm.
And being that I was a business owner and appreciating who you are as wonderful people, as bookkeepers and accountants, the biggest problem that you have is you're chasing people.
Yep.
I never ever want anyone to chase. This whole system is designed and set up that you can sit in Bali as their bookkeeper, working for Aeroflot, who is in South Australia. You're working with nose cones over in New South Wales, and you've got widgets over in WA. You're in Bali, and you can do all three of them from one login with Wageloch. That will coincide with your multiple different logins of Xero, MyOb, and Reckon conversely there as well. So you're going to be looked after.
And QuickBooks Online, right? Reckon and QuickBooks is different.
Absolutely. And pick one of those accounting packages and all of its versions. We've got the integration for it as well. So have no fear
Yep.
that you're going to be looked after it with any and all accounting packages that you use, or the accountant or the business wants to use. You're
Mm.
going to be looked after.
Now, there is one thing about the awards is it doesn't check that they're doing the, when you put in the rates, it doesn't give you a warning to say, hey, you're underpaying. So that is something to be aware of. But when you're doing the implementation guys know, you know, what the base is. And if it goes under or if there's something not quite right, they're going to bring it up.
Absolutely. We will talk to you about that through the implementation team. And if you have any questions or queries, that can be followed up with the help desk team as well. As we're talking about the help desk, let's mention about one other super thing that happens as well. Our trainers through the implementation team, they're wonderful bookkeepers and accountants, are going to give you a training session on your version of Wageloch. They're going to show you live, as Kelly mentioned earlier, how to set this all up, how it works, assist you with your staff members downloading the app or connecting up a fingerprint scanner, facial recognition, and making sure that all works. You're going to get that training as well. That's all part of the implementation. We're never going to leave you alone. And if anyone says to me, oh, I just wandered through it, it's like, no, 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 we want you to call, please. That's what we're here for. The more work that you give us, the more that we grow, the more work that I give you because we've got an amazing product, you grow and all the rest of it. And we'll talk about the Wageloch certified in a moment too.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And because payroll is such a hot topic at the moment, because there are so many things that are going wrong, so many major businesses that are getting it wrong. They're also, you know, getting caught for it now. And it's phenomenal. And I think we need a system like this to be able to go, okay, I'm confident that the payroll is being done correctly. You know, and I really find that's important to our job, especially anyone dealing with any kind of payroll. Um, so I'm just curious about your dashboard. So you've got your dashboard, rosters, timesheets. So can we just go through that a bit?
Absolutely. Let's go through it
Awesome.
all. Okay. Beautiful. Coming up, this is what you'll see at the very beginning here across all of your clients, what they're working on, who's clocked in, who's on leave, what departments are costing there, full-time, part-time, fixed, part-time pharmacy. This is all live. I can't begin to express correctly how much awe I've got for live information on
Mm,
payroll. It's just exciting. I know it's quite simple and boring to other people, but this is exciting to know that at the end of the day, you've got a calculation coming into rosters that we can predict that one correctly and have it set
yeah.
up as templates as well, that your whole 52 weeks of the year are planned, that you can lock out Easter, you can lock out Christmas. We can have it for shift swapping as well, depending on the business you've got there, that the only two capable people of swapping shifts are of equal and qualifications there and pay rates as well. With that, as always, manager, bookkeeper, owner always has the discretion, always has the discretion for accept or declining any request that comes through. Rosters, this is just amazing. So let's go for this fortnight. So we've got fortnights we set up there as well for rosters.
Mhm.
Just absolutely simple. This is easy. It's one of the most wonderful things. Once you've done this for a fortnight, for a week, whatever your pay run system is, it's done and it's just copy, paste, repeat through your templates there as well. Being that this is one of my larger demonstrations here, it does take a little bit to load because we've got three different pharmacies connected to this one, like it would be for you. This is just a demo. If you were live with your own customers, it's pretty quick that to happen as well. So as this comes up, it's a matter of those rosters working away there for you, creating that for all staff members, and it's just so easy. So we're going with Tiffany Dye here. Left click to create, right click to manipulate, and we're going to drag it all the way out to 8 hours. Because Candice and Matt, the implementation team, have done all that hard work for us, here's this. It automatically knows from the award interpretation that's in the back end of the calculations where to insert lunch to your award. We can also add into that shift whatever they have in regards to allowances, time off, paid break, parental leave, carers leave, annual leave, too hot, too cold. We love our staff members allowance. Away we go. That's all created. Yes, we can create different colors for different departments and roles and situations there for you as well. One of the most beautiful things, and I get excited about this, is imagine a scenario where you're regional Australia and you've got a post office, a retail store, and an outside area where you've got your livestock feed. 3 different awards plus clerks. Wageloch can have 4 awards walking in one location at the same time.
I like that.
And with that, have all the calculations correct
Mm,
for overtime, pay time, public holidays, Christmas Day, Merry Christmas, Mother's Day, all of that is actually all set up for you. With any and all allowances that you talk with us about, we'll set that up for you. I know we've got competitors out there. I know people talk about them a lot. Every product has a fit for purpose until they don't.
Yep.
The reason why our customers come to us, and we're a little secret in your pocket there, is because we're so customizable. Because you can talk to a human being, myself as your consultant for Wageloch Certified, get through to the help desk, have your assistants looked after in the implementation stages, whatever you need, whatever you want for that customer, provided it's already on the shelf. If it's not, we can organize the costings there for our developers to do something special for you as well. Coming on to the timesheets, this is a super duper one that gets exciting as well here. Again, multi-factor authentication. You're going to see how it all works for us. Not a problem. Beautiful. So this is exactly the same for you. Oopsie doopsie. Meanwhile, back on the
I
ranch.
love technology.
Back on the ranch. When you do a hotspot with your boss's office because he's not here and you want somewhere quiet and you're not used to your normal setup. Beautiful. Current timesheet. Again, so we're talking about that rural situation where we've got the post office. We can attribute one person's salary to that, even if they're part-time, 4 hours a week. We've got the actual IGA little shop there as well. We've got the outside feed yard where 2 staff members are, all different wards, all running at the same time. They have PIN codes, passwords, what else? Clocking facial recognition feature as well. Just walking past an app, it just clocks them in. We can see that from that green line. You let us know. Do you want to pay to the minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? That can be set up for you as well. You never have to stop and think about this. Come on the calculations per shift. We know automatically that we've got a double up here. Let's get that one fixed. Live calculation. That's just been done in front of you.
Yeah.
you're not thinking about this. You just have to put it together. We
Yeah.
always recommend that you do check this for about 5 minutes at the end of the day, every day as a manager, bookkeeper, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Finalize it. We're happy with it. We're going from orange to a green super duper tick.
Mhm.
At the end of the pay run for our Aeroflot, interestingly enough, they're on the same pay run as widgets. So guess what? As your bookkeeper in Bali, we're going to do both of these pay runs, hit the finalize buttons, pre-submit, submit. Beautiful. Yes, we're going to continue. We're done. Away it goes off to your accounting package. Oh, Aeroflot's MyOb and widgets Excel 0, sorry. That's all going to be taken care of when I just go in there respectively. It's one login for all your Wageloch customers for payroll.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
Can I ask a query on that?
sure, by all means, please.
When you were just adjusting Enrique's one there, and you had the
Yep.
2 separate shifts there with the
Mhm.
break, if they are on one award for the first shift and then they change to a different position on a different award for the second shift, can that be done with the one staff member?
Yeah, let me go back. Da, 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 da. So provided we set them up in the staff card that they are on the 2 different roles, absolutely. So retail section there, Enrique, cool. Oh, unfinalized. All ready to go. So it's orange. Yep, fantastic. If it's in his staff card, that he's a pharmacist and a retail staff. So let's go over to staff. We'll quickly check that right now. Where are you, Enrique?
Not there.
Not there. So let's use my advantage of whom I know. So we would jump into their staff card. We know that their departments are all there. Bang, bang, bang. Beautiful. Done is done. Amy Adams. Back to the timesheet. So this is how quick it is. I'm not just showing this off to make this happen for you. Because it's timesheets. We would then just go back into Enrique's there, and it would be a matter of department. Oh, pharmacist, other roles. Yep, that can be added there. We need to add some personal leave as well. Simple, easy. As I change it from one part of the business there, that's award A, for example. As we check it to the retail section now, that is award B, and they are going to be paid accordingly to that as well.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Never have to think about it, never have to worry about it, never have to be stressed out. Are they going to be looked after? And
when you do the roster, you set them up in the different sections, so therefore it'll filter through into their timesheets, right?
correct, absolutely. We've got that one to happen there. And in the second instance there, if he's just swapping shift because he's covering and he goes department, 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 looking at it from our point of view as a bookkeeper and accountant, we want that recorded so it goes to the correct department for cost analysis.
Yes.
Beautiful. That's recorded there as well.
And the staff member doesn't need to select the department that they're going to be working in. That goes by what you've put on the roster.
Oh my God, Dawn, you were just amazing. I love you. So we can go back to the clocking on device there, whether they're using the app, the fingerprint analyzer, or passwords and pins, they can change that themselves as well as they go. But if they forget, not a problem, but they turn around and say to you, oh, Dawn, oh my gosh, I forgot I was working in the post office the afternoon. I'm so sorry about that. Well, that's just not good enough, Enrique. Well, we'll just swap it over right now, and we'll swip over to our handy dandy HR module. And we're going to go over to task templates. Give you a task name of well, they pay me for my good looks, not my typing. I want to really show you how important this is for you, that you never have to get off the chair in Bali when you're working as a payroll specialist bookkeeper for Aeroflot, that we're now going to send this as a task. We're going to create this task. It's due today, every day. We're going to remind Jim Bob. Oh, well, you know what? Keeps forgetting. Lock it in. It's being recorded. And just because until you get it, we're going to send you an email there as well every day. I am not going to keep sending you messages, emails, texts, and all the rest of it. You're just going to have that task come through to you. Away we go daily until you get it. Once you got it and you keep you send me, please stop. That's when we stop that. This is it. No more chasing at all in any way, shape, or form. Coming back to the beginning of the HR module, and we always talk about the HR module as well. Whatever document that you need as a generic PDF, employment contracts, certificates, licenses, policies, procedures, employee reviews, performance management, standard operating procedures here, you upload them. We get super duper excited about this one. Maybe I've got one ready to rock and roll here. I can do this right now with you.
Can I jump in on that?
Of course you can.
What about Vivo checks?
Sorry, what was that one?
Vivo checks. They're for people to check their residency statuses.
That's still an external, I do believe, there as well.
So it's not built into the system?
Not as yet, no. That would be something
That's something you could certainly, you know, if you get enough people requesting it, then yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
So
great.
just to give you an idea here, we know, I don't know where my current generic contract is at this present time. We would then load it with the placeholders, but this is a big one. That's a digital signature there as well. We then save that accordingly, send that out as part of the onboarding, whether they're a brand new staff member or a current staff member, we need a new policy out there, contract, whatever the case may be. We're going to send that out. They have to respond to that. If they don't respond to it by 12 o'clock tomorrow, we'll get an email, and policy procedure is they don't come to work Thursday until it's signed.
Awesome.
Any kind of document that you need for policies, procedures will happen that way as well. We would then set this up, as we talked about, nose cones, widgets, aeroflop, in the way that we set them up with a new stage there. Got it all loaded, and it would be a matter of, right, we need them to know mandatory, have they got their business card, have they got the keys to the company vehicle, so on and so forth. That's all part of the onboarding, as well as the bank details there as well. That gets sent out as an email to Amy Adams, our staff member who has either had a promotion or an onboarder or current staff member. Way it goes, she has to follow that up through an email with a read receipt as well. Again, we're not chasing. We are not chasing at all. That's all going to go over to that staff member who's going to get that. They have to answer it. Your policy and procedures are quite simple and clear. If you have not responded to any document that needs to be digitally signed, you don't start the next day until you have done so.
And I like that we can track the documents that we've sent to them, and you know, if it ever comes back to us to say, well, I never received it. Well, it was sent on this date, this date, this date, this date.
Yeah, absolutely spot on correct, Kelly. And even if a client was to take on the bare bones of Wageloch workforce management software, let's just go into a staff card of Amy, something small to nerd out and geek out about. And the reason why, here it is. So I was owner of Bob Jane T-Marts Alberton. I had to go around to every post office in the Port Adelaide area to say, have you got a tax file declaration form, please? And it's like, yeah, go try the news agency. Try the news agency and fill out the form. Got a couple of them, you know how they get in the filing cabinet there, squashed up, crushed up, and all the rest of it. Right now, Wageloch on the staff card itself this is a digital tax file declaration form. It is all accurate and correct. That would be sent through to the ATO there as well, and that's part of your basic onboarding as well for your staff member.
Have you got labour hire on that? Like you've got the employment basis, full-time, part-time, is there labour hire in there?
Whatever is on the employment declaration form is right here. And for right now, I am not sure. Okay, why this is not working for me. I have jumped into a different demonstration here. Yes, that is on the employment basis. Any and all versions of the requirements on the tax file declaration is right here on this form. and that is digital, goes straight through to the tax file department.
And
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
don't lodge the tax file declarations separately, do you? You push it through to the accounting program
Mhm.
and has to lodge the STP data.
You got it.
Mhm.
How wonderful is that? Something small. Hopefully this works for me today. No different model. Whatever super fund that you've got of, because we've been doing this for 17 years, you'll find that it's listed here in the APRA super fund retirement thing. Click on it, type in your super fund, and it's already preloaded. As that goes out and there's an onboarding link to Amy, all she needs to do is put her member number in. Part of the implementation is you let Matt and Candice know our default super is Host Plus, it's Retail Plus, it's ABC, it's Colonial. We've loaded it up there. That goes through as a basic onboarding function there as well.
Mm.
Again, just something super small with this one, but I get excited about is bank details. So whilst we've got the bank details for Amy here coming up with her account number, Amy tells us, hey, can I put my pay into NAB? You certainly can. And can you pay my mortgage into my Westpac? Certainly, we'll split that. Have it set up there as well for the Westpac mortgage as well, that on a weekly pay run, fortnightly pay run, that goes through to your Xero MyOB, that it's going to be split for you, that to happen, and your payment system there as well. Just some amazing stuff happening. Behind the scenes, I have seen some of the messages in the back end of the support group there. Hey, has it recorded? Absolutely. We're going to record all the time through the implementation team of your award, annual leave, sick leave, family leave, toil, whatever it is that needs to be recorded there, part of the award is going to be recorded for you.
Mm.
And this is easy. And I get excited as I move screens here, and I want to show you just one more time. We've taken customers and clients from 8 hours of payroll, of chasing pen, paper, emails, phone calls, text messages to 90 minutes. 8 hours to 90 minutes.
Mm.
Come on board as a Wageloch certified consultant, and you can have vast majority of your clients with us. We look after you, we look after them. You've now got all this extra time that you're doing payroll in a matter of half an hour.
Mm.
That's it. And all you need to do, because you've worked with us and set it up once, it's our responsibility. That's what you're asking us to do, to put the pay rate in. I'm sorry I've taken the floor a little bit there, but I get excited about all these things. I do.
It's fine. Can we just have a look at the reports? I'd love to see what's in
Oh my
reports. That's, you know, it's
golly
something we
gosh.
love. We love our reports.
Reports. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Agree with you. I won't be able to show you too much because this is a
Yeah.
different demonstration than I normally do there, and it's not connected with an accounting package there as well. But to give you an idea, we've certainly got all the major stuff happening there as well. Staff list. Staff with qualifications. So as you put this through in every field that's recorded there as a placeholder, it's going to come up with qualifications. Qualifications are what they paid to. It's all part of the shift swapping there as well, depending on the business as well. You will only ever be able to swap a shift with a qualified person. So we're not going to have two expensive people on the same shift. We're not going to have two people who are just beginners and on boarders that way. We've got our leave report, accrual stuff with leave template. It's all happening. Long service leaves, graphical analysis, rostered hours versus clock time.
Budget report.
Clock times. Who's here? Print clock times versus paid times, clock times versus roster times. Are we getting our staff members to do two things?
Yeah.
Embrace our new policy and procedures and way of Wageloch life? Or are we actually finding out that we've had a HR issue with staff members that we've never addressed?
Yep.
Ladies, gentlemen, this is cool. Wageloch does connect with point of sale as well.
Okay.
In our business here at Wageloch, part of our Valsoft group is right here in Thebarton, right in Adelaide, we share a business with H&L. Some of you may have heard that there, H&L point of sale systems. We share the building with them as well. If you need a point of sale, we can help you out there. we've learned over our 17 years to have those connections with a vast majority of those point of sales for cafes, pubs, restaurants, clubs, you name it. We do a lot of work. There is not an industry that we haven't got a finger in a pie for, and we're going to look after you and everyone there.
That's fantastic. So that'll pull it in from either the point of sale, or will it pull it in direct from Xero or MyOb?
Either way of working there in that logical programming sensation as well. If it's a point of sale that we can have a direct API to, that
Yep.
Wageloch connects to, hooray, fantastic. If it's a third party that we've got Xero in there that it talks around that little cul-de-sac, we'll meet that one there as well. So there is always a way that we are going to have that connection to your point of sale.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, then I guess you should tell us about the certified program, because I know that you've got 10 left that are free at the moment. So as soon as those 10 are taken up there, then it's going to be $750 for the program. But the certification gets you, not only teaches you all of this, but it also it helps you implement it. Yeah, there's so many good things about it, and they also put you on their preferred website for a Wageloch certified consultant, so people can actually find you. So it's a good way of marketing. But so do you want to take us through that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I learned from my 2 years of BNI, so Business Networking International, is givers gain. And we all want extra work. I know through our Wageloch system that we can take your payroll from hours to minutes. Absolutely. I want you to have an amazing business. I truly do. And this is the important part there as well, that the more clients that you can onboard for payroll and it's taking you less time, that you're going to charge them for that, the appropriate amount, set fee, whatever it may be for you, that you're getting business. With that as well, I want your clients to be looked after, because at the end of the day, it only comes down to this bottom line. We're people, we've only got 24 hours in a day. And as a business owner, as I said, I was spending 60 to 70 hours a week, every week, away from my family. I was a young husband, wife, child, and I was the breadwinner, and I was bringing in all that work and all that money, and I was not at home. I want people to have that balanced life. So what that means is we've got a wonderful system set up. We've got Wageloch certified consultants who can speak to their client list and say, hey, I've got a system that's going to assist you. Jim Bob at Nose Cones there, you've been doing this the hard way for a long time. It's costing you, and I've worked it out, $3,000 a week to have pen and paper HR. It's going to cost you XYZ per month to have this subscription. I will take care of everything for you. We'll train a manager and have that set up. Because I am a certified consultant, we're going to remove the implementation fee of $1,500 plus GST down to $750. That's my little way of looking after you. We're going to get looked after there as well. We're going to have priority because I'm looking after all your staff, your business, away we go. As the bookkeeper, the one thing that I want to find out is what's the crosstalk out there on the internet with directories and business things and happening as well. What I noticed is on a couple of major forums of advocates for bookkeepers and accountants is their directories were very, very, very hard to navigate, that Jim Bob from Nose Cones would not be able to find a bookkeeper quickly unless they went to an accounting package like Xero, which had an amazing directory, which was quick and easy to find. What will be happening is for our Wageloch certified consultants is there will be a page on our website from now on, moving forward, that has a listing of all experts of Wageloch who use our system, advocate for it, that you can have that trust factor in the world of the internet, that you're going to have more business that way as well. As you're getting more business, we're getting more business, we're going to be looking after each other. And of course, you're going to be rewarded there as well. We're going to look after you with, bring 5 clients on board, there's going to be a financial benefit there as well. Bring 10 clients on board, and we're going to give you a $750 back there as well. For my first 20, we're going to be working something out there as well. After 10 and you're bigging, you might be a big organization and group that you're being flooded with all your colleagues bringing those work into you. We're going to be looking at rev shares and things like that as well for you to happen. we're going to look after you with the training side of things. You're going to get prioritized. We're going to show Australia and New Zealand that there is an amazing workforce software out there that is customizable to the client, where it's easy.
Awesome. All right. Do we have any questions for James or anything that you want him to review or go over?
I've got a complex one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Otherwise, I'll take some notes and I will answer that back.
I've got, okay, we've got employees all over Australia. Say one lot's in Perth and one lot's in Brisbane. They're actually placed in third-party providers.
Mm-hmm.
So back on that labour hire question, we place staff Brisbane, Perth, Alice Springs, wherever. We quite often need the provider, say in Brisbane, to approve the timesheet prior to it coming to us. Do you have that capability in that the contractor puts in their time, the client in Brisbane approves the timesheet? Or vice versa, that if the timesheet's not approved at the cutoff time, we can email or text in-house the third-party person to approve the timesheet?
Okay, great question. Thanks, Melinda. Currently, no is the answer, but we do have a workaround.
Yeah,
So being that we're looking at a timesheet right now,
yeah,
we can set this up that this would be given as a login to the manager at that location. We would have it locked that they cannot see the cost, and that they can go in and say, yes, that is the correct. They can manipulate those hours. And if they're happy at the end of the day, to finalize that. Depending on the level of security in that instance, because I did have one of these just recently, that may be acceptable. The other workaround that we do have at this present time is we can certainly send that timesheet over as an Excel workaround, email for them to approve. At the end of the day, send back to us, away we go. To answer your question, being honest and upfront with a lot of integrity, not as yet. It is something that we are pushing towards for our developers to make that happen. We are noticing a big trend in labour hire, blue collar, white collar, for this to happen as well, that we are working on this, absolutely. Yeah.
And the other complexity we have as well is that we have ABN contractors who also submit timesheets. I would presume we'd have to take that offline to have a discussion about, maybe onboarding people with ABNs. It's probably another separate discussion.
So setting them up as contractors, we would treat them similarly to we treat casuals. So yeah, that is a certain way that we can certainly do that one. That is an easy one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a lot easier than the third-party organizations.
Yeah,
Yes, we look
okay.
after them as well that way, and we treat
Yeah.
as a software coding idea, we would treat them the same way that we do a casual. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
that can be all recorded that way. Yeah.
I might put my email address up in the chat. Not in the chat. Where's the yeah, I'll put my email address up in the chat, and you can I might get you to get in contact with me later on.
Absolutely, and that's what we're here for. And just finishing off the whole package, as Kelly has said, and as I have as well, I have been a business owner. I know it's difficult to get through to a business owner of rip the handbrake on and stop, to do something and implement a new procedure that will actually save time and create money. I will stand with you as an advocate, as a Wageloch certified consultant, and say to Jim Bob, hey, come here, I'll give you a hug and a kiss. We'll come you on board. We'll make all this happen. We'll make it simple. We'll make it easy. And we'll make it lovely. Or conversely, we'll also say to Jim Bob, right, I'm going to kick you in the butt and say this is not good enough anymore. You need to look after yourself and your business. That's got to be the priority. You cannot be a charity any longer. We need to make this work. And within a matter of 7 days, and because we've got that relationship happening there, Melinda or Sarah or Dawn or Kelly, we're going to be able to turn a business around, hopefully within a time period, because you are the bookkeeper. And this is the part that I was waiting to share with everyone. You're the bookkeeper. You already know the system. We'll be able to put them online with implementation with the award system within hopefully 7 days or quicker. We just need some certain information, the count of staff, what they're set up with, what awards they're paying with, what sites, and we can have that put up. You've already done the training. The training can come after the fact there for the client. We can have them up and running in a very quick way because you are the consultant. How's that?
And just a question then, if they've got their own EBA,
We love them.
You'll put, yeah, I mean, obviously we talked about award, but if there's also then an EBA, we would give you that information and you would basically program that EBA in, is that correct?
Absolutely. And it's become a big push as well, because as we've moved into New Zealand now, as you're aware, and it's interesting, they have essentially EBAs for everyone that's employed everywhere all over the country there. So yeah, it's an easy thing to do. It does take Matt and Candice a little bit more time. It might be a little bit of a consultation process with you, Sarah. We will get it done. We will make that happen for you. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. All right. So as I said, at the moment, James is taking names for those that want to get certified for
10
free.
more.
So 10 only, and instead of paying the $750. So if you want to get certified, please do reach out to James. When I send through the recording link, I will also send James's details so everyone can contact him as they need them. But as I said, there's only 10 free for certification at the moment. So do we have any other questions, or everybody's quite happy?
I just do, when we get certified and one of our existing clients does use the Wageloch system, they own the subscription, so they can add us, I presume, and there's no cost to the client.
Correct. So being a third-party bookkeeper, you get the certification there, you get to look after them. It's then a matter of, obviously, because they're the one that hold the subscription and the agreement, which is a legal binding contract, it's up to them to give you that permission to come on board as that third-party organization. In most instances, 99.9% of the time, Jim Bob at Aeroflot is going to say, yes, absolutely, come on board, look after us there as well. Thank you. Yeah.
One more question, classes or job sites in Wageloch, where do you put that? So if I've got I've got a restaurant, a cellar door, and a vineyard, where do you manage that?
So that's part of the implementations process there as well. Melinda, thank you for asking. So instead of pharmacist, it's got your vineyard, it's got your cellar door, whatever it needs to there as well. We come back to the staff when we're going to look back at Amy Adams.
Yeah.
And as you can see, all the locations that you've got there for sites, roles and departments, whatever classification that you need to be talking about there is set up that you can have them set up for one location, multiple locations all across. It's just that easy for you.
And with the certification, do you need to have a current client that's looking to use Wageloch, or can you do it without having any clients on Wageloch?
Great question, Dawn. Somebody did ask me this the other day. Being that this is early days for the whole program, I want people who are excited and happy to become advocates, similarly to Tupperware, similarly to those kind of party ideas, because it's a matter of how you can improve your life, more money in, because you're doing payroll in a matter of 90 minutes or less, more clients for payroll, more time for BAS to be looked after an ATO. In that instance, if you are super keen, okay, let's have a conversation.
Now, the other thing I really like is the pricing, because if you have 0 to 25 staff, is it, James? It's one rate.
So you're always going to be on par with the pricing. It's on our website there for Wageloch.
Mm.
James always recommends the HR system. So click on that one. It'll automatically be calculated there for you. And it's just move the sliding bar.
So it doesn't matter how many per month per location, but you can see like you've got 50 there. So it doesn't change at all per employee,
Yep.
which is
This
what I
is,
love.
yeah, this, oh, wow. I fell off my chair the other week there as well. There is a certain other major company that starts with a D that'll actually charge you for staff members who are not on the roster being used for timesheets as well. We don't. If
Mm.
you've got a seasonal or fluxional business, and of that, I did have a company approach me recently that we're bringing on board for skiing around the Canberra area. They have seasonal staff. So what that means is obviously standing in the ski resort business there as well, they've only got one staff looking after it 12 months of the year. That's their base rate.
Mm.
When they have key capacity of everybody coming on board, they're at that mark there. For 6 months out of the year, they're going to pay that $380 per month. Then for the other 6 months, they revert back to what their standard staff members are. You only get charged for what you put on a timesheet.
That's good, because my client's even getting charged for me being part of their system
Yep.
and I'm doing their
But-
books. I'm not an
Oh,
actual staff member, I'm an
bless.
external.
It's ridiculous.
But for me to have a login into their system to do the payroll, they
Oh.
charge a monthly fee for that too.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be looked after. Human beings, I have contact details. You have help desk contact details. You can find us many different ways. We will respond to you same day, and get that answer to you. Yeah. And just coming down to the pricing,
Mm-hmm.
are there any setup fees for Jim Bob off the street to approach Wageloch there? With his 30 staff there, he's going to pay $1,500 for the implementation, excluding GST. Remember, implementation is not just a matter of installing the software, it is the award calculation set up in the background for you, set up completely to your specifications to a T. It is a training session with Sienna or Andrew on the whole system, holding your hand all the way to your first payroll, connecting that up as well to your counting package of choice, making sure that how it happens. As a certified consultant, all you're ever going to pay for bringing along Aeroflot is $750. And as we spoke about, because you're the person who's promoting this person, you already know our system, we can have that turnaround time of putting it all together very quickly once we've got the agreement signed and paid for, hopefully within under 7 days for you. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any further questions for James?
Sorry, just a quick one. I'll shut up after this.
No, you're right.
Oh,
When
bring them
we-
That's
on.
what we're here for.
When we send onboarding links to the employees, is there videos for the enough employees? This is what you must do.
You would be the one to create that one. And so because you've mentioned that, going back to the old HR module there,
Okay.
create a task template for that one, custom fields, we will then create that one.
No.
Hyperlink, wherever that hyperlink is for the video, whether it's on your own cloud software or private link off of YouTube, create it, drop it in there, making it mandatory.
Yeah, because I was about to say, if you have them on YouTube yourself,
Mhm.
we can link them back in, that'd make life a lot easier.
Yep, just drop it right here in the HR modules custom
Yeah.
field.
So could Wageloch do that?
Wageloch did the introduction video on how to
Yeah.
use it, how to
Yeah.
use mobile device.
Because I use YouTube a lot for, finding stuff like Square, having to add an admin person to Square and whatnot else. And that's what I find a lot easier is if the company has their intro videos, how to do this, and we can just link them in, that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. There are a lot of things that I want to do to help everybody, and bookkeepers and accountants, if I can make your life easier, I know that those blessings are going to roll down that tree and it's going to fall onto the business owners. If it falls onto the business owners, it's going to fall onto the employees. easy is what we want there. Videos are something that we are creating absolutely all the time. And if you ever hear me mention, and I do it a lot, hey, look, I'm going to send you a 2-minute 19 video. This is what I'm referring to. This is the basic introduction one. We have webinars that have been created by Anthony, our technical BDM. This is technical. It's like watching Penn and Teller. It is so smooth that it's wonderful that these systems are already up there. So yes, we have the vast majority of our videos up there. If we need a video created, it is a matter of putting that request into Anthony, that he records it. It might be friendly system where he sits there with you. You ask the questions, he'll record it, put it together, and have it saved on a private channel there for you as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
And how much time does the certification take?
So with the certification, I love that you asked, Dawn. Thank you very much. It's 3 to 4 hours of time with Andrew or Sienna. It is delivered at a professional level. So you can imagine that a training package that we would normally do for Jim Bob at Aeroflot there would be all the key stakeholders. Who's going to have access to Wageloch that needs to know about it? So it might be the bookkeeper, it might be the business owner, it might be the manager there as well. Each one of those have a different perspective of what they need to know from it and the questions they need to ask. Because we've got a room full of bookkeepers and accountants coming up for April's training and then May 29th for our next lot, it's going to be a matter of 3 to 4 hours, and it's going to be set at the advanced level already at that bar level, knowing that you've had experiences with deputies and tanders and employment heroes and things like that. We're going to run you through the system. We know that some of you lovely people as well already are bookkeepers for Wageloch. Thank you very much. And we're going to be able to answer all those questions for you as well. Yeah.
So it's a group session.
Absolutely. It's a group session there. Yeah.
Okay, so when is the April one?
April 24th. So if you've booked into that one's already full. So the next one I've got in front of me is May 29th. That is my last. Thank you very much. Come on board. That's free. In June, that's going to be $750 plus GST for your consultants fees and training. We list you on our website. You list us on your website, Facebook page there, and we will also give you a certification badge for that as well digitally, for that to be advertised. Yeah.
Yep. That's outside of the 10 free. So that's what it normally costs, is your $750, and you get all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's free at the moment for the April and the May one.
Up to 10 people only. So you've got, if you're going to go ahead with the 10, then you need
today.
to relatively quickly, because you know, this recording is going to go out to everyone who registered, and that's, you know, 40 plus people, and then it's going to be available on YouTube. So that 10 plus is only for
Limited time. It really
very
is.
limited. So once it's done, it's done. So yeah, by the time this gets to YouTube, there will be none available. So do jump on that as soon as you can. And this recording will be going out this afternoon, so you still have a bit of time to have a look at the program, have a look at the videos, and just, you know, and have a think about it. And then I'll release it all this afternoon.
Thanks, Kelly.
So you also suggested doing the, as you did with me, doing the demo with you as well.
Yeah, look, thank you, Dawn, for mentioning that as well. If you're a wonderful person as well that says, I've only got one client, I'm not entirely sure, James, to become a consultant, whether it's free or paid or otherwise, book a time with me. Let's do a demonstration. I will list you in our system as an organization that in future, and 12 months is a long time, so it's 15 minutes, by the way, that things can change to you, that you might be at a coffee shop, you overhear conversations as you do because you have your bookkeepers meeting your coffee catch-ups, that, oh, I know how to help you with that. That becomes your client. You may change from that moment of just having a demonstration to a consultant in a matter of days. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because as I was discussing with you, this one client that I was looking to try and change over, they've actually just terminated my services.
Okay.
Effective in a
Bummer.
few. But I won't go into the details, but
Sorry.
this was all part of the reason, because I wanted to be involved in them changing over from the D word, possibly over to Wageloch, and they didn't want me to be a part of that process. So, so hence why I don't have any more clients, that I can onboard with this. at the moment.
The universe is a strange, wonderful thing, and it gives
Yeah.
lots of blessings to us as well when we think about things.
Yeah,
And
it'll throw me something else in the future. Yeah.
I've seen through BNI, just being at conversations where
No
you're at
worries, Mel.
cafes and you turned on to that kind of awareness that you're sitting there listening to other business owners like, oh my God, my life is terrible with wages. It's like, don't mind me. I can help you with that. I'm a bookkeeper. Here's my business card. I can help you set up within a week.
Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing how it all happens. Yeah. Because your awareness is there.
I mean, even if you get certified now, that means that you'll be on the website, which will give you marketing opportunities as well. So, you know,
From that, yeah.
yeah. So consider that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just something to discuss. But as I said, I'll send out the email with the link, and it'll have James's details. I mean, James's details are all over Facebook anyway, so you can also contact him through there. And yeah, if you have any further questions, just hit him up, because he's always happy to answer questions. Always happy to have a chat. If it's right for you, if it's not right for you, but I certainly would choose Wageloch over any of the others in the area at the moment, just because of the functionality and the straightforwardness, and the fact that how many awards you can have there, and they set it all up, and nobody can change those awards because they're in the back end. That's my favorite bit. So yeah, so anyway, we shall leave it there, and I shall send you all the recording. But thank you, James, for your time. I really appreciate it, and yeah, fantastic session. Love it.
It's my blessing and pleasure to be here, Kelly. Thank you all to you wonderful bookkeepers and accountants out there. I'd love to chat to you all, and please help me clear my karmic debt.
We can certainly do that.
Thank you all. Wonderful. It's a blessing to be here.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope the bass season isn't too harsh.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.